Hey everyone, this is Randy Nunez, your host on Between the Chalk Lines, where it's all baseball talk all the time. Hopefully, you're keeping up with the podcast. We're going to give away an Ellie De La Cruz first Bowman Chrome starting in April. So keep track, look out for April 1st. This is not an April 1st, April Fool's joke. Literally, I'm holding this card, and if you can read it, I don't know. But it says LED La Cruz, and you can see the first Bowman right there, and obviously the Reds symbol. But I'm gonna give that away for April when the season is in the beginning. But I wanted to talk about a certain thing coming up this weekend, and a lot of unsigned players that are quite interesting to me. It's just interesting that they're not signed, and some people that are unsigned, and I can understand why. But we're gonna get to a name that a lot of people might not know. Nick Whitgren. He's a relief pitcher, pitched parts of 8 seasons in the bigs, mostly with Miami, Cleveland, and then at the end, Seattle and Kansas City. He didn't have any records. He only had 6 saves. He started 1 game, although he finished 73 games. Wasn't an above average kind of guy. Only a 1.9 WAR, 20 wins, 15 losses, a 4.04 ERA. But you know what? Give the guy some credit. 33 years old. He lived the dream that a lot of kids in some sandlots in the back, yards want to live someday. Some kids in Little League, Pony League, you name it. He did it at what was he? He was drafted by the Marlins in the 9th round of the 2012 Major League Baseball June amateur draft. So, yeah, he was drafted quite a while ago. He's been in pro ball for 13 years. Said, I'm going to hang it up. I made my, couple $1 million or whatever he made. I didn't look up his stats as far as money, but he did good. He had 1 playoff appearance, 1 game where he pitched 1 1/3 innings for I think they were the Indians, the Cleveland Indians in 2020. Gave up 2 walks, but had 3 strikeouts. Kid was pretty darn good regular season. Yeah, his best season was that 2020 year. I would say he had the 2019 year before that, even you could argue with 2.81 ERA in 55 games. So Nick Whitgren, congrats! 8 years in the bigs, a lot more than I can say, and a lot of other people can say. So congrats on that. There's some news that popped up in my feed today, and I wanted to share with y'all. Rafael Devers has kind of backed off and warmed up to the idea, apparently, to DHing for the Boston Red Sox. He said, I'm here to help the team. I'm going to do what the team needs me to do. That's not what he was saying a couple of weeks ago. He was like, third base is my position. I'll play third base. Alex Bregman can go play second base. So hopefully the front office defused that bomb. And I mean, they got Devers for a few more years after this year. And I honestly don't remember how long they signed Bregman. I think it was 3 years, I told you, but Bregman has opt outs after each season. So, if he doesn't opt out and he stays all 3 seasons, you got to deal with Devers and Bregman gelling. Those two have to work out whatever this is going on and just get it fixed. But I wanted to go over some unsigned free agents, some who may or may not retire, like Whitgren. That's kind of one why I kicked it off with Whitgren retiring. Starting with the starting pitchers, our most notable and one of the eldermen, Patrick Corbin, lefty, 35 years old, going into the 25 season. There wasn't a real big. There was a huge need for starting pitchers going into the 25 season. Before in winter of 24, we saw a lot of big contracts signed there, and then spring training happened, and you see the Yankees and the Mets rotations just get obliterated. Sean Manaea, Frankie Montas. There's some guys there that just totally the Mets were leaning on and they needed and just got hurt. Same thing with the Yankees. Garrett Cole may have to undergo Tommy John. We don't know. He had MRI last week and then wanted to get a second opinion, so he got that done. But Patrick Corbin, 12 years of service, just over 12 years of service in the majors. Yeah, I mean, after 12 years, you would think, I'm done. I put in my time. I think I'm done, and I'll just call it a career. So, Patrick Corbin, not a ton of people thought he would have a contract going into the 25 season. He hasn't yet. We'll see what happens. Same thing goes for this next elderman, Cal Gibson, 37 years old, into the 25 season, 11 years of service time in the majors. He actually didn't do much worse than Patrick Corbin did in the 2024 season as far as WAR, and actually had a decent projection for next year, and just 1 year contract projection hasn't happened yet, so we'll see. And the next Elderman, who's the oldest of the three, Lance Lynn at 38 years old, and the most time served in the majors with 13.1 years in majors. Again, not a terrible year last year. And again, just a 1 year projection contract offer by Fangraphs. I don't know exactly what the Lance Lynn camp looks like, if they've got any offers. I can't say anything for any of these players, actually. Spencer Turnbull, next person. He's actually not that old, at 32 years old. Only 6 years of Major League service. Came up with the Detroit Tigers, and the Tigers can produce arms. He just unfortunately didn't turn out. But he finished off with the Phillies. Again, another 1 year projection for him by Fangraphs, and that has not come to fruition yet. But we'll see. Some of these teams, especially the Yankees and the Mets, just spent money like crazy this offseason, obviously, with Juan Soto being the biggest of them all. Literally breaking, just breaking previous contract. Breaking previous contract records. And then we have guys like Anthony Desclafani. Not a big name, not a flashy name as far as a starter. Maybe in the back end, 1 year projection by Fangraphs. Again, low, $8 million for the year. And then I think the last, that's literally it. I mean, there are more starters to be had if someone really wants. They could call and see on Marco Gonzalez, Jordan Lyles, Alex Wood, Noah Syndergaard. Thor is available. I mean, he isn't the old Thor of before, obviously. He finished off the last season with Cleveland. And then moving on to the relievers. David Robertson. How the heck is David Robertson not signed? It just blows my mind. David Robertson had probably his career year last year. Almost a 2 WAR. And for a back end guy, you can get him for a year and on maybe, $8 to $10 million. Maybe he's asking for too much. I don't know. He is 40 years old. So David Robertson, getting up there in years, probably one of the oldest guys we'll talk about here that's not signed. Brooks Raley, 37, again a little bit older, and Craig Kimbrell, 37, also this year. Both are unsigned relief pitchers. It's your pick on if you want Raley, lefty, or Robertson or Kimbrell, righty. Kimbrell is obviously the cheapest option. Really, maybe a little bit cheaper. I don't know. Joe Kelly is still out there. Joe freaking Kelly of the Dodgers, World Series winner, is still available. Yeah, he's 37. But come on, that guy, sticking out that tongue. He doesn't give a fuck. He's 37. Excuse my language, but he don't give a fuck. He'll go out there and throw you in an inning if you need him to. And you can get him for a year. He's not going to ask for 2, 3, 4 years. He'll do a year, surely. More relief pitchers. The other Will Smith. Yeah, had to say it because not the Dodgers catcher Will Smith, but the Royals as of last time pitcher Will Smith, and he's a lefty. You can get him for cheap. Not the greatest option. 35 years old, 35. I'm telling you, he will do it. Kanan Middleton, former Angel, 31-year-old relief pitcher, righty, can throw heat. And probably the biggest snub of all of those, I would have to say, is David Robertson. How the heck is Robertson not signed? I would either change your your agent, or B, tell them to ask or accept lower. Stop asking for higher deals and just take lower and shorter deals. Moving on to outfielders. Not a ton of them. Right field, left field. Alex Verdugo, David Peralta, Robbie Grossman, Adam Duvall. You have a selection of lefty hitters, switch hitter, righty bat there. Alex Verdugo has, per Fangraphs, projection of getting 2 years, $16 million. So just 8 a year. Adam Duvall a year for $3 million. A cheap right-handed bat off the bench. Can play both corners in the outfield. And then JD Martinez. Some of these guys I may have wrong and are signed on minor league deals, like JD Martinez. I know he's a DH, but I think he recently signed with the Angels. Let me double check. No, it says that he's a free agent. So I'm gonna believe that. Sorry. Catcher. Yasmani Grandal, James McCann, Yan Gomes. None of these guys are expected to get a contract this year, surprisingly. Infield, outfield, Nick Senzel, Ledmiz Diaz. Sorry, I screwed up that name. Matt Duffy, a lot easier. Joey Wendell, Whit Merrifield, and those are the outfield, infield guys. Utility, I guess you could say, as well as first base DH, Matt Carpenter, and Miguel Sano, who was given a chance with the Angels last year. He actually did make the opening day roster, but then got cut very quickly. First baseman Anthony Rizzo. Yeah, I mean, is Rizzo still with the Yankees? I thought Rizzo was still with the Yankees. Let me double check this. Um, there are predictions, excuse me, that the Yankees will land former Cubs World Series champion in a reunion. Apparently they need a first baseman. Also, he is predicted to only make 8 million this upcoming season. I'm sure that the Yankees are throwing like 10 million at him. Jose Abreu, I'm not surprised there. He was given a shot, and again, I think by the Angels, um, or by somebody else. No, sorry, the Astros. I knew it was the AL West. The Astros gave him a shot, and he just flopped. Terribly flopped. He even got sent down to the minors, which he accepted, and it didn't click for him. Those are your free agents. Literally all of the free agents available. Um, the other thing I wanted to mention, fantasy baseball. If you're doing it, make sure you have your commissioner set up the draft for this weekend. Do not miss this weekend. The games count against the Cubs. Although a lot of people are saying that, the Dodgers are just going there to show off their Japanese players, whatever. It's not really that. I mean, sure, apparently the rotation looks like Yoshinobu Yamamoto and Roki Sasaki. Damn, I'm messing up all these names. Sorry. So Roki Sasaki is pitching second. Yoshinobu Yamamoto is pitching first in that series with the Dodgers against the Cubs. So make sure you get these fantasy baseball draft picks done this weekend and get your roster set. If you intend on picking any, like I'm sure 100% of the teams are going to have, or I should say, leagues will have someone picking Otani. Everyone knows Otani is going to DH. No, we're not sure about him pitching this year, but we're damn sure about him hitting. So get that out of the way. Yamamoto, if you want him. Roki, if you want him. Take a chance on a newbie. Apparently, Roki Sasaki's pitches look nasty, especially his secondary pitches, and they want him to work on those secondary pitches over in Japan against the Cubs. So, opening day is officially March 27th. Officially, the trade deadline is July 31st at 6 p.m. Eastern. Thank you, Jeff Passan, for that little nugget. But I wanted to throw that in as well. And I think that is it for today, everyone. Don't forget, keep an eye out for the April Ellie De La Cruz first Chrome. This is raw. I'm not going to guarantee that this is a gem, but you know what? He's doing big things in the major leagues. So maybe you can get it. Have a good weekend, everyone. See you next time.